Have you ever asked yourself if poverty exists in Japan? The answer is yes. Despite its reputation for being clean and organized, Japan has areas marked by poverty. You'll find homelessness, littered streets, abandoned buildings, and yes, even slums. One such place is Kamagasaki, a neighborhood in Osaka's Nishinari ward, known as the country's largest slum. While the word slum might carry a different meaning in Japan compared to other nations, the challenges here, poverty, unemployment, and people sleeping rough, are very real. Kamagasaki became a hub for temporary laborers, especially during Japan's post-World War II reconstruction. Many men migrated here to find day work in construction and other manual trades. But as Japan modernized, those job opportunities started to disappear, and many of these workers were left behind, jobless, homeless, and unsupported. Now surrounded by a sleek, modern Osaka, Kamagasaki feels like a forgotten pocket. Tourists often walk right past without realizing what lies just a few blocks away. In this video, we're going to take you inside this lesser-known Japan. A place where elderly individuals live alone, people endure in silence without asking for help, and dignity persists even in poverty. If you haven't already, subscribe, and let's dive in. Back in the 1950s and 60s, Japan's booming economy needed low-cost labor to build the cities we see today. That demand pulled workers from across the country to places like Kamagasaki. But as demand for day labor waned, so did the area's fortunes. The district gradually deteriorated. Today, many residents live in rundown housing, or no housing at all. Kamagasaki now hosts one of Japan's largest homeless populations, primarily elderly men without family or social support. If you thought Japan had no visible poverty, think again. It's just less obvious. Homelessness exists, just not in the way many might expect. Unlike in some countries, Japan's homeless population is less vocal and more discreet. Culturally, many follow the idea of ganbaru, persevering and enduring hardship without relying on others. There's a sense of pride in enduring quietly. You probably won't see many homeless people in city centers. That's not because they aren't there, but because Japan's cities are intentionally designed to keep them away. Japan uses what's called hostile architecture to discourage sleeping in public. Benches are short, curved, or split with metal bars, so you can't lie down. Ground textures are often uneven to prevent people from settling. This urban design strategy pushes homeless people out of central areas and into neglected districts like Kamagasaki. Kamagasaki isn't unique. Most major Japanese cities have similar low-income neighborhoods known as doyagai. These zones offer cheap housing, usually in tiny buildings originally meant for laborers. You'll find doyagai in places like Yokohama and Tokyo, where the contrast between the modern metropolis and these struggling areas is even more striking. In these districts, you may encounter gambling dens, illegal gaming rooms, or convenience-style vending machines selling alcohol and cigarettes, items far less visible in central tourist-heavy neighborhoods. Doyagai neighborhoods often feature doya, tiny hotels that once hosted day workers. These buildings are extremely small, with narrow corridors and rooms barely big enough for one person. No kitchens, no private bathrooms, facilities are shared. A unique sight in these areas, public washing machines on the sidewalk. Anyone, yes, even someone living on the street can drop a few coins and do laundry. It's a survival system built into the margins. Although gambling is technically illegal in Japan, there are workarounds. Enter pachinko, a game similar to slot machines. Players win tokens, which they sell to nearby shops for cash. It's a legal loophole, but in doyagai areas, real underground gambling operations run without this pretense. Here, people gamble directly with money, breaking the law in full view, but often ignored by enforcement. These areas don't operate like the rest of Japan. Garbage isn't managed as strictly, streets are less clean, surveillance is low. These communities are the result of decades of economic transition and neglect. Originally, doyagai were hubs for laborers. Men seeking work gathered in groups, hoping to get hired for a day. The term doya itself comes from do, meaning crowding or gathering. But over the years, these neighborhoods became shelters of last resort. There are two types of homeless people in Japan. The visible kind, those sleeping in stations or under bridges. The hidden kind, temporary workers called yatu rusha, who survive on short-term jobs and live day to day. They may not sleep on the street, but they don't have stable homes either. And you'll mostly find them in places like Kamagasaki or other doyagai. Japan's hidden struggles are real. Behind the spotless train stations and shiny skylines lies a quieter truth. One not shown in anime or tourism ads. This video isn't to criticize, but to reflect. Let's acknowledge that no place is perfect, and that every society has people left behind.